For as long as I can remember, I was the reliable one. The daughter who never complained. The sister who always stepped up. My name is Sophia, and at 32 years old, I had spent most of my adult life quietly supporting my younger brother, Ethan, and his growing family, while my own dreams sat on the back burner. My husband and I had chosen not to have children yet. We were focused on our careers, saving for a house, and finally enjoying the freedom we'd worked so hard for. But in my family, that decision somehow made me the perfect free babysitter, chauffeur, and emergency backup. When Ethan and his wife, Lauren, announced they were expecting their 5th child during Sunday dinner at my parents' house, the room exploded with joy. My dad jumped up and hugged Ethan like he'd just won the lottery. Mom cried happy tears. Everyone clapped and cheered. Then, just like clockwork, all eyes turned to me. "Well," Mom said with a bright smile, "thank goodness Sophia is always available to help." Lauren nodded enthusiastically. "The older kids just adore you. You'll be a lifesaver with the new baby." Ethan grinned. "This will make everything so much easier." No one asked if I had time. No one asked how I felt. They had already decided my role. I set my fork down slowly. The table went quiet. "No," I said calmly. The silence was deafening. Ethan blinked. "What?" I said no. "I'm not going to be your full-time caregiver for a 5th child." Lauren's smile faded. "Sophia, you don't even have kids of your own. This could be good practice for you." That one sentence hit like a slap. Practice. As if my life was just a warm-up for theirs. I stood up, grabbed my purse, and left. No one followed me. No one apologized. The next morning, my phone rang. It was a police officer. One of my nephews, Ethan's 8-year-old son, had been found wandering alone near a busy intersection, several blocks from home. He had been missing for hours. Thankfully, he was safe, but the incident opened up a whole investigation into the family's supervision habits. There had been previous reports from neighbors about the kids playing unsupervised, wandering into other yards, and being left without proper care. It wasn't a one-time accident. It was a pattern. Suddenly, the family group chat was exploding. Ethan and Lauren were scrambling. My parents called me immediately, pressuring me to support the family at the upcoming family support review meeting. "Just tell them they're good parents," Dad said. "We all need to stick together." Lauren even texted me, "We've always trusted you." Trusted me? No. They had used me. At the meeting that Thursday, the room was tense. Ethan looked exhausted. Lauren was stressed. My parents sat there like they were ready to defend them at all costs. When the coordinator turned to me and asked about my role as the major support person, I could feel everyone holding their breath, expecting me to save the day like I always had. I took a deep breath and spoke the truth. "I love my nephews and nieces," I said quietly but firmly. "But I can no longer be their primary caregiver. I have my own life, my own responsibilities, and my own boundaries. Ethan and Lauren need to find real solutions instead of depending on me to fix everything." The room went silent. My mother's face turned pale. Ethan looked betrayed. Lauren stared at the table. That moment changed everything. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cause a scene. I simply stopped being the safety net they had taken for granted for years. In the weeks that followed, the family tried everything: guilt trips, silent treatment, even showing up at my door. But I held my ground. I started focusing on my marriage, my career, and the life I had put on pause. Looking back, saying no was the hardest but most important decision I ever made. Family is important, but it shouldn't come at the complete expense of your own well-being. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is set boundaries, even when it shakes the entire table. I still see my nieces and nephews when I can, on my terms. But I am no longer the unpaid, unappreciated default parent for a family that never saw me as anything more than a helper. And for the first time in years, I finally feel free.